Now it's time for a business spotlight. This is the Adelaide Project.
Hello and welcome to the Adelaide Project Business Spotlight, brought to you by podcastcity.com.au. If you are looking for a way to engage your audience with your amazing content, then you need to talk to them about producing, recording, editing, videotaping and distributing your very own podcast. Just go to podcastcity.com.au. I'm Ron Fiedler and welcome to the Adelaide Project Business Spotlight. Thank you for joining us today. Before I introduce you to my guest today, I just want to let you know that the purpose of this podcast is to bring you unique people, services, products and events from Adelaide and South Australia that the mainstream media is just not interested in bringing to you. We have a vast range of new businesses right through to established ones that could be of benefit to you, your family, friends, and even your work colleagues. And it is our pleasure to bring them to you. So make sure that you share the episodes amongst your social groups so that they get to know what is on offer right here in Adelaide. So let's start the show. The COVID-19 pandemic has been a significant impact on the way people work, and one of the most notable changes has been the shift towards remote work. Prior to the pandemic, many people worked in traditional office environments with regular office hours, face-to-face meetings, and personal collaboration. However, with the onset of the pandemic, many companies had to quickly adapt to a new way of working. Remote working became the norm for many employees, and businesses thought to protect their employees and follow social distances and guidelines from the government was the way to go. And this led to several changes in the way that people work. And a lot of people took a good look at their lifestyle and decided that the traditional 9-to-5 working from an office was no longer for them. Many people started their own businesses and focused on what they enjoyed and the things that were important to them. And the way we know office space has changed forever is because more people are working from home and modern technology is taking over. And some companies have downsized their office space to be more of a co-working environment. Working from home may be good for some, but for a lot of people, the novelty quickly wears off because of distractions, lack of concentration, lack of structure, isolation, limited resources, and lack of collaboration, just to name a few. And what if you need to meet clients? Do you really want to take them to your home and expose your life to them with dirty dishes, kids and pets running around, and neighbours playing loud music? It sometimes can be just impractical to work from home. But there is a solution where you can work from home and have an office environment as well, and that's with a co-working space. A co-working space allows the ability to work in a professional environment with networking opportunities. It has flexibility and can be cost-effective, and you have access to resources such as fast internet, photocopiers, meeting and breakout rooms, and so much more. Today, to tell us a little bit about the benefits of working in a co-working environment is Andrea Lagrou from Think Big Co-working. Andrea, welcome to the Adelaide Project Business Spotlight.
Thank you, Ron, so much for having us.
You know, I come to your facility and it's a great place. It's co-working. Can you tell us a little bit about what it is?
Yeah, sure. So co-working, it's all about independent people from different organizations coming and sharing fully furnished office space. It is a very cost-effective way to have access to fully functional office where you get access to meeting room, boardroom, desk, kitchen, internet, printing, car parking, etc. Flexibility is also an important benefit that co-working offers. Normally, if you rent an office, you will be locked into a strict legal contract for a long period of time. With co-working, you can generally cancel on short notice, and you can upgrade or downgrade as your business requires. Yeah. Now, also the community, it's highly valued benefit of co-working. Each co-working space has its own energy, you might have noticed. So if you can find one that is a great energy, that's great, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So it helps you to perform better thanks to the people you surround yourself with, and therefore you obviously are more productive.
Definitely. I want to explore that, the networking when you're in there. It's not just a matter of you coming in and just sitting down and doing some work. You can actually collaborate with some of the people that work there, and you may be able to exchange business ideas, or even better than that, you may be able to get clients from them and they get clients from you.
Absolutely. So especially I think with co-working, we specialize in a networking function. So once a month, first Friday of every month, we've got what we call a networking event. And this is where we bring the members together, and the members are able to bring their either business partners or clients that they're working with. And we take care of all the catering. So all the food and drinks are on us. And you're basically there to network. We generally bring about 25 to 30 people at a time.
Yeah, it seems like it is a fantastic opportunity to, one, do more business, but also to get to know some people, especially if you're, a startup or you're just getting out of a office environment from another area. You get to know people in that area.
Absolutely. So like you said, Ron, especially if you're a startup or a small business, you might not have the cash flow to start up a new office out there. Because as I mentioned, the cost of starting up and running an office, it can be quite expensive. So yes, there is definitely benefits of having that co-working space, not just for the chair and the table, but also for the collective environment that you're there. So it's like being in your office without having to have that
all those expenses.
All the expenses, that's all right. Yeah.
Andrea, look, I've been to your facility, and it's a great location down there at Walkerville with plenty of free parking. The office is professionally set up and has a lot of resources, and you even have access to a coaching service. And the best thing about working, I think, in a co-working environment is that you can throw ideas off people before you do it to your clients. Can you let our listeners know more about the Think Big co-working brand and what gave you the idea to start it?
Okay, so Think Big Co-working is in a beautiful suburb of Walkerville. It's in a great location, especially for those who like to be close to city and North Adelaide, but don't want the hassle of expensive parking. There is plenty of unlimited and free parking on site. And the office is walking distance from beautiful cafes and shops. So the location for us was very, very important. And I think big, we do things differently. So what we do, we build a community of like-minded people, like we mentioned before, that come together to office environment, and they thrive to build their business. Now, why do we actually have this idea? How did this all start? Well, there are 3 factors that led us to open Think Big Co-working.
Yeah.
Firstly, it was my husband realizing that he needed an office out of the house, as he was occupying a room that belonged to our son. He needed an office with a professional and inspiring environment.
Yes.
When you're sitting at home, things can get a bit stale, and you're out of that environment that gives you that buzz and a bit of an inspiration.
Yeah, and where you're located, you have beautiful views of the hills.
Yes, we do.
So how inspiring is that?
It is beautiful. So a lot of natural light and beautiful views, as you mentioned, of Adelaide Hills. So it's a very, very nice space. So secondly, I came to a point in my life that I felt that I wanted more flexibility and personal growth. Previously, I was working in an organization for more than 5 years. It was 9 to 5. It was great, and I've learned some great skills to transition into my own business. But I just find that when I needed the most, having a small child, when I needed the most having that flexibility wasn't always there. Even though they were very, very good, it wasn't always what I needed. So that was really important to me. And also personal growth. When you have your own business, you grow so much. You face the challenges and you just grow so much. And thirdly, what happened for us, we spotted a clear trend to move away from the traditional offices to more flexible and cost-effective co-working solutions.
Yeah.
So that was a third reason why this idea of co-working came about.
Sounds fantastic. And I suppose the other good thing about co-working as well is you can get packages delivered knowing someone's going to be there to pick them up. You don't have to worry about cleaning, because that's taken care of. You got coffee facilities there.
That's right.
So, if you need a coffee or you got a client coming up, meeting rooms.
Absolutely. So boardroom and a meeting room.
How great is that?
Yes.
So that way you can work on and you call them hot desks, do you?
That's right.
You work on the hot desk where you can just do your work. Your client comes in, take them into the meeting room.
That's right. So we've got capability for 10 hot desks. So
Yep.
we've got a few different options available for depending what people would like to take up on an offer.
Yep.
First of all, starting with the business address. So they can have a business address for like a virtual business address for $100 a month plus GST.
Yeah.
And we take care of all of that mail coming. Next, we have hot desks or part-time desks, as
Yeah.
you mentioned. These are $400 plus the GST, and these are basically hired on a part-time basis. And then we move to permanent desks, which are full-time. So this is solely for yourself only.
Yeah.
And that's $600 plus GST. And these desks you can use anytime. It's basically your desks. And we've got other options available in terms of furnished offers. However, the availability is very limited at the moment. Now, as you mentioned before on with the ones apart from the business address, so the part-time and permanent part-time and full-time desks,
Yep.
they all have got access to all of the facilities, so fast-speed internet, boardroom up to 10 people,
Yeah.
small meeting room, coffees, teas, and the networking function. And we are very fortunate to have working with us or being part of the owner of the business, I should
Yeah.
say, Andrea Lagrou, who is a business coach. And so for all of our members, we actually offer monthly coaching.
Yes, monthly. So tell us more about the monthly coaching. So what's involved? Who's it targeted at? Is it targeted to anyone or just startups, or how does it work?
So the members of Think Big Co-working, they will be getting monthly coaching by Andrea Lagrou, who is a highly sought after business coach. Now I can say across the world because he's expanded internationally as well.
Fantastic.
Yes. And what Bram is basically doing, he's also bringing experts. So depending what your business is in, what you're doing, let's say that you needed help with financial side of a business, well, then he will bring an expert in and they can talk to you about the financial side of a business as well.
Now, that's very important because as a person that may be moving from home into a co-working space, you might not have those contacts, and Brem has those contacts. So therefore, if it might be an accountant that you're after, it might be someone specialising in marketing, maybe it's someone that's specialising in finding out contracts or government grants or something. You've got someone there that would know about this and can point you in the right direction. Plus, it's part of your membership.
That's correct. So it doesn't cost anything extra. It's all included in a monthly fee, as I mentioned. And yes, absolutely. All of those experts, we call them experts, would be there available for the members once a month to have that coaching and to help them to grow the business. So that's what it's all about. It's about having that very close community to help and assist to grow the business. Because at the end of the day, that's what everybody's in a business for. So
that's right, growth and we want to make some money and we want to, have that expertise shine. Now, I'm just trying to get my head around this. $400 roughly a month for your hot desk, plus you get the coaching. Now, if I want to go out and get a coach, I might be looking about $600 or $700 a month separately on that.
Easily.
Wow.
Yes.
So you're saving money by going to Think Big Co-working.
Absolutely, yes. And you're getting a lot more than that. So that's just a coach. That's just a coaching. You're obviously then getting the networking and plus the access to boardroom up to 10 people, small meeting room. And, really the sky's the limit with being with us because you never know. I always say be prepared because you never know who you meet and who you bump into where. You've got to be prepared, yes.
And another thing you got, because you were talking about networking and the networking meeting, if I was going to join whether it be Business SA or some other organisation, you're probably looking between $300 or $400 a year for that.
Absolutely.
So you're saving money again.
That's right.
So let's have a look at the savings and look at the traditional office. So when we have a traditional office, the first thing we need to do is find the premises and make sure it's in a good location. We've got that. That's a tick from you. Secondly, they're going to probably give us 6 months to a year lease that we must sign. How does your leasing work there? Is it month to month? Is it 3 months, 6 months?
It's a 3 months. So even though it's calculated per month, when you're looking at the hot desking and the permanent desking, we take them on a 3 months. It's simple because we are very specific about who we're going to let into the space.
So you can try before you buy as well.
Absolutely.
If it's not
Yes.
for you and you want to go back home, 3 months' time, you go back home.
That's exactly right. It doesn't cost you anything apart from that $400 or $600
And
a month.
that's good. Now, there's no cleaning cost because that's part of it. You've got coffee and tea facilities, as we talked about, the meeting rooms. You've got access to a free car park.
Free car park.
Wow,
yeah. Unlimited.
Unlimited parking
Yes.
in Walkerville. Now, I'm paying a fortune for parking here in Eastwood.
Yes.
God, I wish I could go over to you.
Yeah, you should.
So that's good. So when we're looking at it, it is a better way of running a business, especially if you're not there all the time.
Yes.
And you're out on the road maybe, or you want to work from home and have a combination.
Yes.
This is an idea that you should be looking at.
Absolutely. And it's great for also those interstate businesses that perhaps, used to have a big office here, which used to cost them thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And no longer they require that big office. So they just want to have either a virtual office or somewhere just to drop in, say, up to 20 hours a week.
Yeah.
Then they can have obviously a hot desk. So it's a really, really good way of having that office without having those expenses that they used to bear, with the big office. So I'll give you an example. I had somebody coming and looking at the office only yesterday, and it was a team of 5, and it is great, absolutely fantastic. So currently they've got a really big office, not using all of the space. They need to downsize. And this is where also that 3-monthly contract or 3-monthly agreement comes very, very handy, because if a company does go through, it's a seasonal and they go through either through growth or they need to downgrade, well, they can very easily to do that. It's not costing them thousands of dollars if they were stuck in a contract.
Yeah, and it can go the other way, that if they put more people on, they've got room there to either hot desk or maybe get another room.
The office, that's right, exactly.
So that's fantastic.
Yes.
Look, who do you think co-working space is suited to?
Okay, so there are 3 main businesses that we, recommend. First of all, sole traders, contractors, freelancers that work by themselves. Secondly, it would be small businesses with a team that need flexibility to grow or cut back as they need, as I mentioned before. And thirdly, would be large businesses that are looking for satellite office with hot desks, meeting room, and a boardroom.
Great. So that gives a lot of potential.
Yes.
Now, what sort of things can't you do in a co-working space? And the reason I ask that is that you don't want to have, say, for example, a band that wants to use the room, or maybe even someone like me who podcasts, even though we've got soundproofing rooms where we're making a hell of a lot of noise. So who do you think may be not suited?
That's a very good question, Ron. So at Think Big Co-working, we actually go through what we call screening process.
Yeah.
And the reason why we're doing that, it's because it's quite small and cozy place. And it's very, very important to us that we get the right people into the environment.
Yeah.
We just need to ensure, we would like to ensure that everyone who is in that environment really helps and supports each other and to grow their own business. So what we do on our website, you can go to our website, and there is a button where you click on apply, and it will take you through our application form, very similar to like real estate agents do.
Yeah. Well, that's good, because that's something that I was thinking about. If I go into a co-working space, as I said, I don't want someone next to me, for example, who's maybe designing something with machinery and all that sort of stuff.
Right.
Or you've got someone who makes a mess because, say, for example, they're filling bottles or something.
That's right, yes.
So it's really good to know that you screen the people to make sure you're getting the right people coming in.
Yes. So generally, the type of businesses that do apply, it's businesses in the professional services, business development services, accountants, lawyers, conveyancers, real estate coaches, definitely, yes. But we don't have a space for the physical working one, so you won't find any massage therapists or anything like beauty therapists in our space. So
no, that's good, because, as I said, at the end of the day, you want a nice environment to work in that's professional. You can bring your clients up if you need to, or just hang out for the day instead of being at home and doing that work. I know myself when I'm at home, I've got my father asking me things, I've got my wife, and then I've got to stop and do something else, and someone knocks on the door. But when I'm in my environment away from that, all I can concentrate is on work.
That's correct. And that's basically, I think, part of the reason why these co-working spaces have been designed and developed. It's not only to save money on a big, large space, but, bring people out because, as I mentioned before, it's been proven that the productivity has gone down. We are feeling isolated. We are feeling detached from that environment. We get bored. We get lazy.
Yes.
We get, we don't have that support, the community support, and what we used to have in our offices prior COVID-19.
Yeah.
So yes, all of those reasons that you mentioned, that's why people like to go to co-working spaces.
Yeah, and also accountability because,
Absolutely.
if you're at work, you're more accountable to do things rather than being at home. So
Yes.
that's a good way too. Look, Andrea, there are a lot of different co-working models out there, co-working space models. What benefits does the Think Big co-working offer their members? Well, we've gone through it, but why would they pick your organisation compared to some of the others?
Sure. So look, there are a lot of benefits to become a Think Big co-working member. As I mentioned, not only you will have a desk and a chair to work from, and it's not about the furniture only, but the biggest value that we bring is about the community where like-minded people are located under the same roof where they collaborate and grow together. So as well as access to a boardroom, which is up to 10 participants, small meeting room, coffee and tea facilities, free parking and printing. We also offer monthly networking events where there might be between 20 to 30 like-minded people that get together and discuss potential collaboration. As mentioned before, we provide all the catering and drinks, and our members also have access to monthly coaching with Andrea Lagrou, who is a highly regarded business coach that helps members grow their business. Imagine how much value this represents.
Yeah.
All of this is included.
That's fantastic. And some of the co-working spaces out there, listeners, don't offer all of this. They offer you a space. And everything else costs. You want to print, cost. You want a coffee, cost. You want to use the boardroom, you got to book it and pay for it. And you want coaching, my God, they don't even offer that. So this is fantastic. And also, if you're an overseas business and you need an address in Adelaide, perfect solution. Walkerville is a very classy area. It's a very professional area as well. Great place to have your business address if you are an overseas business, but you need to have presence here in Adelaide.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a highly sought after area and there aren't a lot of places that you can actually have in a Walkerville. So, and even if you want to, if you're in a city or if you're in North Adelaide, North Adelaide is only 9 minutes away and CBD is 12 minutes away. So it's very, very close to, we've got plenty of free parking, unlimited free parking. So it's a great place to be in.
It's a very good place. Andrea, if people want to contact you about being a member of Think Big Co-working, or if they would like to have a tour of the co-working space, how can they contact you?
Absolutely. So they can contact me directly on my number 7120-7256, or they can send me email to andrea@lagroupropertyventures.com.au to find a suitable time for meet and greet.
And we're going to have all this contact information on all of our social networking pages and in the show notes. So just go to the show notes and you'll see all of Andrea's contact details and links to the Think Big co-working space. Also, if people out there are interested in finding out more about Andrea and what she can offer, and also your business partner, Andrea Lagrou, you can go and find out that information. We'll have a link there as well because, look, trying to find the right coach is really difficult. Finding a coach in a co-working space that you're working with and you can bounce ideas off and get that professional advice is something you don't see every day. So, Andrea, I'd really like to thank you for coming in and talking to us about Think Big Co-working. Really appreciate your time. Can't wait to see you again. Maybe we can come to one of those network meetings you got and do a live report and let people know what it's all about.
That would be great. Thank you so much for having me on. Really, really appreciate that as well. And it's been absolutely fantastic. And yeah, I'd just like to invite whoever would like to come and have a look at the co-working space to feel free to come and reach out and come and have a coffee with us.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Today on the Adelaide Project Business Spotlight podcast and radio show, we have been speaking with Andrea Lagrou from Think Big Co-working. This podcast is brought to you by Podcast City. If you would like more information about starting your own podcast, from planning your podcast to recording, editing, filming, and distributing your podcast to the world, simply go to podcastcity.com.au. I'm Ron Fiedler for the Adelaide Project Business Spotlight. Until we meet next time, bye for now.